how does what you do, address things like endometriosis?
Well, Roseanne, I have stage 4 endometriosis. I was diagnosed
Talking to
when
the right lady.
yes, I was diagnosed when I was 23 with stage 4. And I've
Well,
had
and
3.
you have 2 babies.
Yeah,
So you're living proof
yes.
that stage 4 does not have to be the end of the road for you.
It does not, because after my third laparoscope at 34, I was told by my friend who did my surgery, a reproductive endocrinologist, that I would have to have IVF. And I said, well, I'm not having IVF. And he's like, no, you have to. And I said, Chuck, I don't have to do anything. I'm not going to do IVF. He's like, well, I'll see you at my office. I'm like, well, I'm not doing it. I showed up at his office for my post-op. Then I showed up at his office about 6 months later and I was pregnant. I'm like, do an ultrasound. So I had my students work on me. They used my therapy on me. And I had been married before, so I was on my second marriage. My first marriage, I didn't know Mercier therapy. I didn't know what that was like. And so once I started to get creative and poke around on my own self, because I didn't want to do Lupron suppression therapy or more oral contraceptives, I started to break down some of those barriers, and I could feel my organs start to move. I could feel that there was
Mm.
something tangible happening. I could feel that blood flow was restored there. I was having more discharge too. And that means when you contact the ovarian surface, you send a signal to the pituitary that the pituitary says, okay, the girls are listening. Send some estrogen. Estrogen lubricates us. Estrogen thickens the endometrial lining. Estrogen makes good fertile discharge. Estrogen also supports the growth of the follicle. So I knew something was happening because I would be doing ovulation test strips prior to having any of my own work done on myself. And I wouldn't get an LH surge. Now I'm getting an LH surge and I'm like, what the heck? What happened? That's where I started to investigate further. I'm like, what? Something's going on. So let's take this a step further and write the sequence, write a manual, and then start to implement this in practice, but also start teaching it to other professionals.